Hello and welcome to the Friends of the Boundary Waters Wilderness Annual Gathering, or the Northwoods Gala. I am Sarah Jean Knox, your fundraising host for this event, and I am so happy you are with us tonight. While you're settling in, we would love to hear from you in the chat. Share with us who brought you on your first trip to the Boundary Waters. Was it a family member, or were you with an organization like Scouts or YMCA? Did you go as a child or experience it first as an adult? After all, you are the reason we are here, and it's your commitment to the Boundary Waters and your experiences that make our mission so exciting. My first trip was with my family, and I was about 13, and while I'm sure my parents momentarily regretted bringing an angsty teen on a Boundary Waters trip, it was trips like this that shaped me into who I am today, and I am so grateful, and I'm sure so many of you can relate with that. We have a great show for you tonight where you will hear from fellow wilderness enthusiasts who are passionate about the Boundary Waters, just like you and me. I was blessed to grow up in a family that took us camping all the time growing up, and I am grateful for the opportunity to fall in love with wilderness and gain a passion for conservation. And I think you'll agree with me when I say that the Boundary Waters is an exceptionally special place. That is why I am so excited that you are here with us to raise money for Friends and for the No Boundaries to the Boundary Waters educational program. Before we dive into the program, let's go over some logistics for tonight. This event is going to be best viewed as a two-screen program, and what I mean by that is while you may be viewing the program on a tablet or computer screen, or maybe you've even streamed it to your TV, you'll want another device handy, like a phone or tablet, to bid on the silent auction and participate in the giving tonight. That way you're not going to miss a minute of the action in the incredible program that we have. So just a reminder that the silent auction will be open until 8 p.m. Central, and I see many of you have been bidding your hearts out, so keep that up. I love seeing that. It is so much fun, and I can't wait to see what you win. This gala is going to be fast, but it is going to be impactful. So get ready to be inspired and make a difference. You're going to learn more about the amazing No Boundaries to the Boundary Waters educational program. You're going to help us celebrate 3 conservation award winners and have a chance to partner with us to make sure that the next generation grows into strong advocates for conservation of the Boundary Waters. Needless to say, you are going to make an impact that will last beyond our lifetimes tonight. Make sure you stay tuned to see the photos you sent in from your own Boundary Waters trips. And if you haven't sent them in yet, there is still time. So get those in. We are so excited to see those. To start us off tonight, I am honored to introduce the Executive Director of Friends of the Boundary Waters Wilderness, Chris Knopf.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you to all of you for being here tonight. Thank you for your passion for the Boundary Waters and your passion for Friends of the Boundary Waters Wilderness. I'm Chris Knopf, Executive Director of Friends of the Boundary Waters Wilderness. For over 40 years, the Friends has protected the Boundary Waters and has been the leader for protecting the Boundary Waters because of you. We're a people-based organization, and you are the strength of what we do. Today, our vision is that the Boundary Waters is permanently protected and that people of all backgrounds have the opportunity to to experience the Boundary Waters. And that the communities that are gateways to the Boundary Waters, Ely, Grand Marais, the Gunflint Trail, and North Shore, are thriving and prosperous and support protection of the Boundary Waters. This vision recognizes the interconnectivity of people, wilderness, and community. And today, our programs focus on those 3 areas. For the wilderness, there are 2 mines and 1 threat to the wilderness. The 2 mines are polymet and twin metals, and the 1 threat is a sulfuric acid that would poison our clean water. And today, through lawsuits, legislation, and community action, we are winning the fight against these foreign mining conglomerates. This past year, we've had a landmark victory before the Minnesota Supreme Court. We're winning in the court of public opinion, according to recent polls that just came out in the last 2 weeks. And we're winning the Minnesota legislature over with our Prove It First bill that would protect both the Boundary Waters and Lake Superior. For people, through our No Boundaries to the Boundary Waters program, we are connecting young people all across Minnesota to the Boundary Waters through classroom education, through online programs. and for scholarships for wilderness canoe trips. Each year, we connect hundreds and hundreds of people, students across Minnesota. And for a community, through our Thriving Communities program, we recognize that the communities that are gateways to the Boundary Waters, Ely, Grand Marais, the North Shore, and Gunflint Trail must thrive and prosper in order for the wilderness to truly be protected. We have a community coordinator based in Ely who's being a good neighbor. He's listening, he's making connections, and building bridges. And through our work, we support programs that make these communities healthier and stronger. We support expanded broadband internet service all across the Arrowhead. And most recently, we've been advocating for disaster relief for the outfitters that were closed down by the wildfires. In the end, Friends of the Boundary Waters Wilderness is a community. It is a community of people who love the Boundary Waters, share the Boundary Waters, and recognize our shared responsibility to protect the Boundary Waters for the next generation. Tonight, you'll hear from my colleagues who will tell you more about the work that we're doing together. You'll hear inspiring stories about people who are out on the front lines of protecting the Boundary Waters, and you'll hear inspiring stories about people whose lives have been transformed by the Boundary Waters. I want to thank you for being here tonight. I want to thank you for helping us create a future worthy of the next generation. I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Scott Beauchamp, our policy director, who will tell you more about the work that we're doing at Advocacy to protect the wilderness. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Scott Beauchamp and I'm the Policy and Advocacy Director at the Friends of the Boundary Waters Wilderness. I have the honor tonight to talk to you about one of the pillars of our work that's very important to me and I'm sure is very important to all of you watching, and that's wilderness protection. Here at the Friends of the Boundary Waters Wilderness, we have been leading the fight to protect the wilderness since 1976, and we continue that work today with our efforts to stop the dangerous copper sulfide mines that threaten the Boundary Waters and Lake Superior. We do this we continue this work today through three primary areas. The first is legislation, where we're represented by some of the best firms in Minnesota, and we fight in the courtroom to make sure that these mines are never allowed to be built if they're going to pollute our water. Secondly, we work on legislation. Legislation at both the state level, which is our Prove It First legislation, where we think that any mining company that wants to build in Minnesota must first prove independent scientific evidence that these mines will not pollute. Additionally, we work on the federal level with Congresswoman Betty McCollum to pass her Boundary Waters Protection Act, which would ban any mining in the Boundary Waters watershed. All these legislation are definitely needed because we need to protect Minnesota's clean water for future generations. And the third and most important way that we're going to do that is through citizen action. And that's where you come in. This is the most important aspect of our work because it makes all the other areas of our work possible, whether that be calling your senator, calling your state representative, telling Governor Walz how you feel, or even just making a $5 donation. All of those things make all of this other work possible. And together, we can build something stronger than any one of us that will protect Minnesota's clean water for future generations. So most of all, and most importantly, tonight, I just want to say thank you to you, thank you to our supporters, thank you to anybody that's taking action, and thank you to anyone that's made a donation, because that is what makes everything else possible. So thank you so much for your support, and thank you for being a friend of the Boundary Waters.
Thank you so much to Scott and Chris, and of course, thank you to all of you who are making an impact just by showing up and continuing to be a part of this community. Friends could not do this without any of you. And now we are going to head up to Ely with a quick word from Hudson Ledeen, our community coordinator.
Hi everyone, I'm Hudson Ledeen. I'm the community coordinator for the Friends of the Boundary Waters Wilderness. With the Friends, the program that I work on is our Thriving Communities program, where we are trying to help Ely, Grand Marais, North Shore, Gunflint Trail, and all these gateway communities thrive. And when the communities thrive, the Boundary Waters thrive. And the Boundary Waters wouldn't thrive without supporters like you. The supporters that we have here are the true heroes.
Thank you so much, Hudson. It is always great to see you in your natural habitat. Next, you are going to hear from Allison, our Education Director, who will share the heart of why we're here this evening.
Hi, my name is Allison Nineheis, and I direct our education program, No Boundaries to the Boundary Waters. This program aims to inspire future generations of wilderness stewards by bringing Boundary Waters materials to the classrooms across Minnesota and bringing students from across Minnesota up to the Boundary Waters. We're all here because we have a connection to this place. Maybe we keep coming back year after year and keep finding more things to cherish about the Boundary Waters. Maybe you remember when this first spark of connection happened for you. Maybe it was a family member bringing you out on a trip, or a trip with a scout group, or a youth group, or a week at camp. Whatever it was, I'm sure there were moments of awe, like maybe seeing a loon pop up right next to your boat. Moments of struggle, like the last 50 rods of a really long portage. And moments of simple joy, like finding the best rock to lay out on. I'm sure all of us can remember our first experience in the Boundary Waters. But this isn't the case for everyone. Real barriers exist to going here. Racial, financial, experience, transportation. Our program works to ensure that students from all backgrounds have the opportunity to have that first experience in the Boundary Waters. And not just a first experience, but the programmatic support to keep returning, to be a leader among other students going, to share this place with their families, to learn more about this place and develop a sense of responsibility for what happens here, to protect it from threats. This doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen with every student. But with every spark, that chance becomes infinitely greater. This connection is not only essential to the longevity of the wilderness, but the lessons, grit, and confidence gained by kids during their trips last far beyond when they get off trail and make a difference in their daily lives. Your contributions can make that happen for more students across Minnesota as we continue to grow our program. With your help, even more students will have that opportunity to have that first spark.
Thank you so much to Allison and Hudson and Scott for sharing a deeper look into our vision. And it's the reason you are all here, and it's why year after year you show up at the annual gathering to support this common mission, this common spark. The Friends' mission is to protect, preserve, restore, and that's exactly what you are here to do tonight. And we are counting on you, our members, our closest supporters, all to invest in our educational programs. No Boundaries to the Boundary Waters is one way that we are going to create future advocates for this area. And now is the time to pull out that phone and hit that donate button. And if you've been bidding on the silent auction, you'll find the donate button in the menu. It'll say Give to the Fund a Need. Simply select the amount that's meaningful to you, and this is where you will begin to make a difference for generations to come. And as you give, I encourage you to reflect on when you first became passionate about nature. My guess is that it grew from those early experiences in wilderness, whether it was in the incredible Boundary Waters or maybe it was somewhere else. Without those experiences, none of us would be joined here today. We wouldn't be joining over this common mission that we care so deeply about for the conservation and environmentalism. And that's why it is so important to share the power and awe of the Boundary Waters wilderness with the next generation. If we want this area preserved and restored for generations to come, it's our responsibility to get the next generation passionate about it right now. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna join together and do this. We are so excited to announce that one of our original board members has generously donated a $25,000 match this evening towards our goal of No Boundaries to the Boundary Waters and towards the Thomas Flint Wilderness Canoe Trip scholarships. This community is so incredible, and I know that tonight we will be able to meet this match and blow our goal of $50,000 out of the water. Some of you are already busy getting those donations in. I'm seeing John and Terry Penshorn. Thank you so much. $10,000 tonight. That is absolutely amazing. We're so grateful for you. At $5,000, John and Suzanne Gappa are leading us off at $5,000. And I just want to tell you tonight, if you're watching, I'm going to give you some examples of what your generosity is going to do for us. At $5,000, that is going to sponsor a crew of kids to attend a wilderness canoe trip. This is going to get a whole crew of them out. These are kids who would not have this opportunity, the ones that have those boundaries and those barriers for them to be able to go up and experience the Boundary Waters in this way. $3,000 sponsors a community paddle day for 100 or more kids and their family. Now $1,500, this is going to provide 2 scholarships to the Thomas Flint Wilderness Canoe Trips. 2 of them. This is a 5-day Boundary Water canoe trip where kids get out there, they experience it, and really start to find the love and the passion and gain the experience that they're going to carry with them the rest of their lives. And at $750, this is where you're going to make an impact on one single life. This is where you're going to say, hey, I might not be able to bring you up there physically with me, but I'm going to send you up with an equipped group, because this is going to provide 1 scholarship for a 5-day Boundary Waters canoe trip with the Thomas Flint Wilderness Canoe Trip Scholarship. So go ahead, get those donations in there. And I'm seeing $500 is going to provide a Boundary Waters canoe adventure for a day at a school. And $250 is the cost of a classroom visit. And this is where we're able to bring nature and wilderness into the classroom to provide experiences to students who would never have that access in any other way. And we want to start to bring the passion to them right where they are. So that's what $250 will do. And $100 is going to provide 1 day for a student on the 5-day canoe trip, or you're going to be providing them with rain gear, because as we know, that is very crucial on a Boundary Waters canoe trip. So as you're putting those in there, I just want you to think of the impact that you're having. And I'm going to take a look over here because I'm seeing more of you get these donations in. I have $1,000. Kim Young, thank you so much. $1,500 from Jason and Emily, thank you so much. I'm seeing $300 from Dave Willits, thank you so much. Another $300 from Norman, thank you so much. Patrick Kincaid, thank you for your generosity tonight. Amy Beth Carr, thank you. Charlotte Donahue, I just want to thank you so much for your generosity, and we're seeing those continue to come on through, and I know a lot of you are getting those donations in, and I'm seeing them come. They're bringing me more of your names here. Deb Huskins, thank you so much. And I just want to thank all of you who are joining us right now and choosing to make a lasting impact with your generosity tonight. And we need help from our friends. We need help from you, because you are the ones making a huge difference tonight. And we also want to honor some of our other friends this evening. And so while you're giving, while you're putting those donations in, I am going to pass it over to Scott, who is going to introduce you to our first Conservation Award winner tonight.
Hello everyone, I'm Scott Beauchamp. I'm the Policy Director for the Friends of the Boundary Waters, and it is my honor today to present the Friends of the Boundary Waters Conservation Award for Wilderness Advocacy to former Governor Arnie Carlson, former legislators Janet Ensel and Tom Berkelman, and community leader Duke Skorich. This group, led by former Governor Carlson, has been instrumental in raising the profile of the issues and the threats that are facing both the Boundary Waters, Lake Superior, and all of Minnesota's clean water. Special interest groups have worked very hard and spent a lot of money to try to allow projects that will pollute our clean water to go forward. And former leaders like Governor Carlson and the rest of his team have been courageous in speaking out against these issues and speaking up on behalf of Minnesota's most important critical asset, our clean water. So on behalf of the Friends of the Boundary Waters, I'd love to present this award to former Governor Arnie Carlson.
Well, thank you. On behalf of the team, I'm deeply, deeply grateful. And I really want to thank the Friends of the Boundary Waters and Chris Knopf and his team has been marvelous. But the whole organization of the Friends of the Boundary Waters have been very vital players. And it just points out this. One, yes, we have a great challenge. and a responsibility that goes with it. But when there's a broad team effort, I think success is virtually guaranteed. I'm very optimistic that we're going to prevail, and thank everybody for pitching in and helping out. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Scott and, of course, Governor Arne Carlson. It is amazing to share this mission with like-minded advocates like Governor Carlson. And if you want more time with him, make sure you're bidding on his donation in the silent auction, because he has offered an entire afternoon with him. You're going to get to go on a boat ride with him on Lake Pepin, have lunch with him. It's an incredible donation. You will be available to bid on that until 8 p.m. Central tonight, so go get those bids in. And I am going to introduce our next recipient. This next recipient represents the commitment to community. This year, Friends of the Boundary Waters Wilderness is pleased to present the Conservation Award for Community to the Gunflint Trail Volunteer Fire Department. This summer, wildfires closed the entire Boundary Waters Canoe area for weeks. I think we all remember that. The Gunflint Trail Volunteer Fire Department is a beloved community institution. They're community-led, they're community-supported. The Gunflint Trail Volunteer Fire Department embodies the very best of the good things that happen when people come together.
Again, my name is Michael Valentini. I'm a volunteer with the Gunflint Trail Volunteer Fire Department, and it's a very unique honor for us to receive the Conservation Award for Community by the Friends of the Boundary Waters, and I'm very proud to represent our department and very proud to receive the award. We don't get into this business for rewards. The rewards are doing what we do. And when somebody recognizes us, which I think is appropriate, believe me, we really appreciate it.
It is an honor to hear about the service of the Gunflint Trail Volunteer Fire Department, and we are so grateful for you and everything that you do for our community. Now, to present our final award, I am going to pass it back to Allison.
Hi, I'm Allison Nineheis, and this year our award for people goes to the wonderful people at Boulder Options. Boulder Options is a wellness-based mentoring group that focuses on middle school students, and each year they take a trip to the Boundary Waters. We're fortunate to have collaborated with them on the preparation for their students going up, and it's so inspiring to see them take so much care in making sure their students have a positive experience in the wilderness. Here to accept the award for Boulder Options is Lucy and Xavion.
Thank you so much for having us here. My name is Lucy Bossert, and I'm the Outreach Director at Boulder Options. Boulder Options is a youth mentoring organization here in the Twin Cities. We work with 10 to 14-year-olds, and what we do is we pair them up with a volunteer adult mentor for an entire year. Our pairs do things outdoors, they do physical activity and challenge themselves, and when they're finished with their year in the program, they can actually join our alumni program. Alumni can have a whole bunch of different experiences in the program, but one of the things that they can do, and we really encourage them to do to challenge themselves, is to go to our Boundary Waters trip. We spend 5 days up in the wilderness with our mentors and mentees, and this whole experience really helps our mentors and mentees gain confidence, build leadership skills, and just get exposed to an environment that they may not normally get to be out in. I could go on and on about what we do up in the Boundary Waters, and I'll have somebody share in a little bit about their experience, but I can say that Friends of the Boundary Waters has been really impactful in helping us and being a partner for us. In the past couple of years, they've helped us with paddling training to get our mentors and mentees ready for the trip, but they've also helped us learn about things like navigating and how to read maps. So like I said, I have somebody here with me today that's going to speak to his experience. He's actually been to the Boundary Waters with us 5 times now. He's a young man who had never been to the Boundary Waters before, and actually this past year, he was a junior leader on our trip. So without further ado, I'm going to pass things off to Xavion.
Hello, my name is Xavion. Like Lucy said, this trip has always been really impactful all my life. I've came from a hard background, which has shown me a lot of things, and this trip has let me just be who I wanted to be, shown me that there's so much more that I can do. And at first I was really nervous, like most people would be going into something new, but you shouldn't really try to avoid it. It's just, just jump straight into it. There's lots of kids who aren't sure or don't want to be away from their families. Like on this last trip, we've recently had a kid who was really missing their family, and by the end of the trip, they were glad that they went on the trip, and they said they've really learned a lot and all that. So if you're thinking about going on the trip, just talk to your mentor, talk to one of our people, or just say what you need to do, or I don't know. Yeah. But I've always had fun on these trips. Every single time. I've been going for 5 years now. With every group of people, you learn something new. And it's really just a cool thing to do.
Thank you to Lucy for your passion for getting youth out in the wilderness, and of course to Xavion for sharing your experience with all of us and for sharing your experience and passion with fellow students. It's so important to get other people passionate about this. All of you watching tonight are here to support the future generation of leaders, which is why your commitment to Friends and the No Boundaries to the Boundary Waters program is so crucial. If you want to protect and preserve the boundary waters for generations to come, the best thing we can do is ensure that the next generation is just as passionate about this space as we are. As you give tonight, you are sending kids on Thomas Flint wilderness canoe trips that will change the way they see and interact with wilderness for the rest of their lives. And you are bringing wilderness experiences to classrooms so that students can learn and engage with nature in new ways. You're investing in their future in profound ways, and so thank you so much for everything that you've done and everything you continue to do. This community is absolutely incredible, and thank you all for showing up this evening. It has been a joy to reminisce about our experiences in the Boundary Waters together and look forward to years of joy shared with future generations. Friends could not do this without you. As a reminder, you can give at any time this evening, and you can share this program with other people. It's a great way to share about the mission of Friends and share why you're passionate about it. And it is time to get your final bids in because the auction is going to close at 8 p.m. Central. You have a little bit of time there. But so far, I am going to get the total here for us. But while we get that total of what we've raised this evening, so far we're in at $33,840, and I have a few more people to thank. Audrey Fensky, thank you so much for your $500 donation. Adam Benson, thank you so much at $750. I have $1,500 from John Willoughby and Emily Vickery. Thank you so much for your generosity. I'm seeing $1,000 from Stuart Crosby, Chuck Ledeen. Thank you so much. All of these generous donations are coming through right now, and I know they are going to continue to come through throughout the rest of the evening, and you are going to continue to give and energize this community with your generosity. Absolutely amazing with what you are doing tonight, and I want to thank every single one of you. We've definitely met that match for the evening, so that is so incredible. And that silent auction is going to be open until 8 o'clock Central. And I know those bids are going to continue to go up because here in the studio, we've been trying to outbid you, but with little success because you keep getting those bids in, bidding them up, and continuing to give that. Valerie Jackson, I'm seeing, is just sending in a thing. Here we are. We're at 59,000, just above the Our last one was at 59. I'm seeing 48 here, but I know we had an extra bit in there. $59,350 for you here. That's where we are tonight. That is amazing. And this could not be done without you. And it's clear that your commitment to this mission is strong. And this is why we gather. This is why you're here. It's because of our shared interest in the Boundary Waters and preserving that wilderness for generations to come. And I'm so grateful for all of you who are passionate about spreading this passion and joy with the next generations. I know none of us would have the passion that we have for the Boundary Waters if it weren't for someone else sharing with us. And so the fact that you have all joined here tonight to give that to the next generation, and especially to youth who would not have the opportunity to access it without your help and without you standing behind them saying, hey, we want to share this with you because it's important and it's special and it is going to change the way you see our world. And so thank you for being a part of our mission. And we are grateful for everything that you have done tonight. We hope that you will enjoy this incredible wilderness soon. And of course, share it with the ones you love. Have a great night.
I've watched my friends get married, watched them fall apart, seen them compromise so much it kinda broke my heart. I've heard them blame each other, heard them live on lies, say everything that comes to mind except apologize. Ain't saying I got answers, but I know it doesn't fly. And someone else's fantasy is no good alibi. Maybe if we focus more on quality than time, falling out of love wouldn't be looked at as a crime. Under pressure, pride misguides you. Break your promise, don't deny you, don't control it, make room for it. It will break you open. I'm trying to meet a good one. Wait, that don't sound right. I mean to say if I met someone cool, it'd be alright. So if you like spelunking or gazing at the moon, maybe we can meet up on a weekend sometime soon.